Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of the NORA Webcast series. Today, our very special guests are Shazamme, who are sponsors of our Best Specialist Job Board Award in the NORAs. So thank you very much for everyone who's turned up to join us today. Thank you, everyone who's watching on replay. We get a lot of people watching on catch-up. The reason that we have a show early in the morning is that Maré and Nicole Clarke from Shazamme are in Australia, so they're literally on the other side of the planet. So technology is bringing them to us today. Before we get into that, I just want to recap a little bit on the reason that we have these shows. The reason we have the NORA Webcast series is to give a bit of insight or much more insight to the organizations who are involved with the NORAs. Not only are our sponsors, companies who have been finalists and winners in the NORAs in previous years and potential winners this year. And of course, sometimes we'll bring on our judges to give a peek behind the scenes as to the way that they look at and assess the recruitment websites that have been nominated for the NORAs. This year, we've had almost 10,000 nominations from the public for almost 500 separate recruitment websites. I personally have registered with them all. I might be the busiest job seeker in the UK. I'm not sure, but certainly if you saw the email that I get from all the job boards that I registered with, then you would think that. So this week, there's been a couple of bits of news for the NORAs. We have announced last week our new and swankier venue for the NORAs is going to be on the 10th of November, and it's going to be at the Carisbrooke Hall, which is near Marble Arch in London. Much swankier. We have a proper stage. We have a huge screen. We have cabaret-style seating. We have a big balcony. And we're expecting a busier than ever year. Actually, I should say that the tickets are going much faster than expected. So if you want to make sure that you get in for the NORAs on the 10th of November, please organize your tickets now. So without going on too much longer, I'm going to bring on my special guest. First of all, ladies first, let's bring on Nicole and also Rick Maré from Shazamme. Good morning, Rick and Nicole. How are you?
Good morning.
It's great to see you. I'm presuming that it's pitch black outside where you are right now. It's the middle of the night.
That's a window behind me and it's black.
Goodness me. I'll just give you a little quick peek. So this is Glasgow right now. This is outside my office window. So it's pretty overcast, so there's no need to be jealous.
Good.
People are really jealous of the weather in Glasgow. But welcome, very welcome to the show. It's great to have you on. I found out about Shazamme only a few weeks ago when I saw you on Louise's show. So Louise Triant had you on, and we're looking in more detail at what you do and how you do it. And I have to say, when I found out, to me, it seemed like this is the game changer that a lot of companies have been looking for, who are looking to take control over what they do. So can I ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Shazamme? Ladies first, Nicole.
Always.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Yes, I'm Nicole. Great to see everybody. I've been very passionate about recruitment, marketing, technology for a very long time now, and very excited to bring Shazamme to the world, making recruiters' lives easier with great technology that's easy to use, easy to update, great value, and great customer service and support is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, because it is the pivotal piece of a recruiter's brand now, today. So we've got to make it perfect and easy to use. So a little bit about me and a little bit about Shazamme. To Rick.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you, Nicole, and thank you, Stephen, for having us on the show today. So, yeah, been doing this for a very long time, around about 14 years. Started in 2007, trying to build the biggest job board in Australia to compete with Seek, which went really pear-shaped very quickly with the 2008 GFC happening. We were lucky enough to have some great tech back then, and we redeployed that to start powering all the biggest recruitment agencies in Australia, and very quickly we became a very good partner of Google, very good partner of LinkedIn. Well, I think we were the first to have apply with LinkedIn in the world as a recruitment platform. We're sort of, we see ourselves as a bit of pioneers in this space. The biggest bugbear that I've always had was that I'm not a coder. I can't cobble together any HTML or CSS. And my vision was always that I should be able to, as a business owner, be able to create my own recruitment website, my corporate career site, and really get it up and running. And that was really always my biggest challenge with having a room full of coders. At one stage, we had 25 developers. I could never do that. I always had to go back to them to go, can you please change this because that doesn't look good, or this client is complaining because the ticket took 7 days to reply. So part of the reset this time around was there were a couple of key elements that Nicole and I agreed on that we must have. One, Nicole, I, or Stephen, or anyone on this webcast should be able to create a website, a recruitment website that's connected to an ATS, fully functioning without ever writing a single line of code. That was number one. And number two was Nicole's passion was customer service and customer success. So we implemented 24/7 chat, whereby pretty much if you're a marketer within a recruitment business or an owner of a recruitment business and you want to make some changes and you need some help, you need to be able to do it there and then, because you can't wait 5 days because the opportunity is gone. So they were two absolute cornerstones of our vision of starting Shazamme, and we have delivered absolutely to that brief.
I've experienced that chat myself. When you guys are in your bed, the chat is still working 24/7. So that's really helpful. So the key connection between the NORAs and what Shazamme are doing is our audience, certainly for these shows, is largely organizations who are, well, they've built the recruitment website, or they're in the process of looking to build a recruitment website, either to replace or build a new. The companies who are shortlisted as finalists and winners, clearly they've been adjudged to be doing things well, and those are great to take inspiration from, and that's exactly what we want to do. We want to show, from a candidate's perspective, what we assess to be the best examples of online recruitment practice, and when other organizations are looking to build theirs, then they can take inspiration from what's being done there. But of course, they don't all necessarily have crazy budgets to spend, or big marketing departments, or teams and teams of people to do it. It's more commonly with recruitment companies. They are inclined to be self-sufficient, or want to be self-sufficient. They want to be able to do things themselves, because the process of building a recruitment website, as with any website, it is filled with 1,000 different decisions that you go through in order to get to the final site. And the final site is never the final site, because it's a living, breathing thing. It's full of content that's continually changing and updating. And if you're posting vacancies, then that's the oxygen that drives your website. So, and I've experienced of building a lot of websites over the years using platforms like WordPress and so on. So I've gone through that. I've gone through the building my own website for a recruitment company, and helped other companies do theirs. But the key thing, as I say, is that self-sufficiency. When people are looking to be self-sufficient, do they have to compromise on the quality of the site or the facilities and functionality of a site when they're building it themselves, as opposed to going to a large web developer who has all the coders doing these things?
So there's clarity there. A lot of our clients don't necessarily build them themselves. They might just create additional pages for campaign pages, so they can run specific campaigns for clients or for themselves to attract people. So they can build it if they like, but they don't have to. A lot of clients might have just spent a lot of money with a design agency creating something, but it's not integrating properly to their ATSs. So, or there's missing features and functionality to be able to create different things. So we'll bring the brand over exactly as it is, but onto our technology so that it can then easily be used. So recruitment websites no longer, for enterprise grade recruitment websites, you no longer have to pay a fortune. We've got the prices right down because they are so easy now for us to build. We don't need the developers, so we can pass the savings on to our clients. And actually, they're built within now. The average time is 3 weeks.
You're kidding? 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
That's really from. So someone comes to you and they have a brand, they have a design for the logo and their colors and such, but either they don't have a website, or as a website they're going to be switching over. That can be done in that short a time.
Switch it over in 2 weeks.
That's really quite something.
Average time for a new one is 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of functionality, if I was building a recruitment website now, then, well, if I was an agency building a site, then I would want integration with my ATS. I'd want to be able to integrate other additional tools that allowed me to have, it might be assessments, it might be video interviewing, it might be any number of other additional functionality. Those are really important to me. And whenever I switch from one thing to another, if it requires me to change my ATS, then that's a whole lot of grief, not just for me as the agency owner, but for the frontline recruiters who are used to using whatever ATS that they've been using for quite a while. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, so we have more integrations than we have ever had before. So the integrations actually form a key part of the whole delivery. So we expect if you're using Bullhorn, Job Adder, or Broadbean today, that if you move to us, there's no change in your internal processes whatsoever. You'll probably find you can do more with our platform and integration. So we have quite a sophisticated integration middleware layer that you can pretty much change anything that you could ever envisage. So we've already helped a couple of clients who were frustrated with the lack of ability to change the integration because it was all stock standard between the platforms. We've now created a whole layer that allows you to be flexible.
Yeah.
And also we're adding a lot of things that have been problems in the past, like Herefish, Roy AI, all sorts of other integrations that are part of our whole integration layer.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are the key things that recruitment agencies are looking for just now by way of functionality that's going to help their recruiters and, of course, their candidates?
I think the main thing is there is no doubting the fact that recruitment is now marketing. Mm-hmm. It's no longer about just posting a job on a job board. You really need to be thinking about other ways to engage your audience. So what we're seeing really good results with is with our clients, they can easily create campaign pages now. So if you need salespeople in London, you can create a page that is specifically targeted at salespeople in London. You just drag on a widget onto the page, pull all your sales jobs onto that page. We really just drag and drop it in. And if that was then used as a campaign to reach out to people on LinkedIn, you might put a video of yourself talking. It might be, look, your 1 in 10 people my client has chosen would be perfect for this opportunity. You can share that through LinkedIn rather than asking people to always apply for a job when most people that are good potentially in jobs, asking them to register their interest with a form submit is actually proving to get really, really good results. And it's a different way of doing things. So I think people need to think a bit outside of the square and offer their clients different solutions to find the talent that would be perfect for opportunities. So that's one of the big ones.
Yeah. Certainly, and we were discussing it last week with Morgan at Versita. Candidates they're not applying in the same volumes as they were for advertised vacancies. So you need to engage with them more. You need to market to them. You need to go out to them and give them information of interest that's not necessarily pushing jobs at them, but talking about the wider careers marketplace and getting them engaged. So that if someone's hire ready today, that's great. But if it means that they're just thinking about it and warming up, then you can be part of the process of engaging with them to get to the point where they're ready to apply for something. And if you've got that relationship with those candidates, then you're ahead of your competitors. And as we know, certainly with recruitment agencies and absolutely with employers, you need to be speaking with the candidate before everyone else and have that relationship.
Totally. Yeah.
So in terms of that marketing and building a pool of talent in particular areas, if you're a niche recruitment agency, Rick, how would you use Shazamme to establish and build those relationships with job seekers?
Yeah, good question. So we essentially have two core platforms. One is the recruitment website platform, and see what we've done there is we've tuned that to be as candidate friendly as possible. So we've got easy job alert. We recommend the agencies build a recruitment site architecture that is what we call the ideal recruitment site architecture, that has all of the streams, talks about all of the sectors that the agency works in, and then has the consultants attached to that and the jobs attached to that and news attached to that. They may do some white papers or ebooks to help the candidates engage with business. The consultants need to have their own hero pages, as we call it, because consultants are people and they need to be seen as heroes, because they're going to help you find the next best job. And on that consultant hero page, there need to be jobs and their articles that they've written. So it needs to be a true ecosystem that makes the candidate want to engage with the business. So that's number one. Number two is the marketing dashboard that we've got, which really helps propel the recruitment agency out into the rest of the World Wide Web. So we're talking reviews, so getting client and candidate reviews so that the candidates can see how well your business is performing. They need to include not only the closed review system, but the open one that is publicly available, like Google and Facebook and other review platforms. Then your social connection, so that consultants can post to social channels like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. So it brings very much a human aspect to the business that the consultants can associate with, and same as the clients that can do that, making sure that the rest of everything that you're doing is geared towards engaging with the audience as best as possible.
So the two points there, the circular searching that you were referring to. Candidates, obviously, whenever they go to a job board or recruitment website, they want to be able to search for vacancies, and of course find information to do with the industry that they're in. But what they also want to be able to do is identify the recruitment consultant that's going to be best suited to them, that they can speak with. They don't want to just register and see who phones back. If they can pin down that Maré in accountancy recruitment or Joe in architecture recruitment is an expert in their field, has been recruiting in this sector for X amount of time, is a member of the the industry bodies, the REC and so on, and has close connections with XYZ clients, then that would reassure me this is the recruiter I want to be speaking with. In the same way as you might choose the best lawyer or accountant or whatever professional that you wanted to work with. If you're able to choose your recruiter according to their expertise that ties in with your needs, then that's a real help to candidates. And candidates can search for a recruitment consultant, see the vacancies they're working on, as well as coming at it from the other angle, search for a job, see who the person is that's handling that vacancy. Then, as you say, that ecosystem is really vital, and making or allowing the recruiters to be the heroes that they are. And some people might say, well, you can't say that, that's a bit lame. But for a certain period in someone's life, when they're looking for a job and they have a recruitment consultant that they trust that's really helping them to find those next steps, then at that point in time, the recruiter is a hero. They're making things happen for them, and it's a really intimate relationship. And you want to know that you're working with someone that you trust. There's a lot of bad talk, if you like, about recruiters not being especially professional, but the ones who are should be shown that they are, and you should be able to shout about it. So yeah, the ability for candidates to find and engage with the most appropriate recruiter rather than just the trainee who your CV is passed on to. And the next point you mentioned there, Rick, is metrics, active metrics on for the recruiters and the agency owners on what's working, why it's working. People often they question when things fail, but I think it's really important to question success. If you want to know, why this campaign worked, well, how do we replicate that unless we know what were the ingredients that made it happen? So that's vital. So with Shazamme, in terms of the metrics in the back end, how well informed can an agency owner be with those?
That really depends on to the extent of the other systems that have open APIs, because obviously we are reliant on the ATSs as
Of
well,
course.
to make sure that we pass the data through to the application ATS as such.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, the referral source and the source tracking is super important.
Yeah.
But that means that sometimes the slight workflow might need to happen in how they get the jobs to Indeed or to other places, and then how the tracking's coming back in.
Yeah.
So I guess what we're trying to do is build an ecosystem where the job is the center of everything, so that a consultant can share their job out to their LinkedIn profile, or their LinkedIn groups, and they can see that coming back as the referral source. So there are still a lot of ATSs that don't have the open APIs that are so important to us. But that is crucial in the world of tracking. Having said that, the marketing dashboard, the amount of information that we're now collecting on a business, 95% of all the business owners and marketeers that have taken on this dashboard are saying, this is just amazing. I've never seen that on one page before. All of my metrics to do with how I'm performing, how my social posts are going, how my reviews are going, how my listings are across the World Wide Web, how my SEO, PPC, everything is going in one spot. It's just, it's blowing them away.
I've often looked at reports with that kind of information, and sometimes it's overwhelming. And sometimes you think, well, that's great, but what can I do with this information? Is there, are there some tips on how I can use this so that I can improve what I'm doing and how I'm doing it in future? So the key thing is being able to understand those metrics if they're presented in a simple way that's usable.
I think there's a lot of opportunity with data, and it doesn't need to be difficult anymore. It can give great insights into your business. One thing we've been doing ourselves and helping clients do is really look at their competitors. What are their competitors doing, especially if they're doing things well? And you can learn a lot from, are they doing pay-per-click advertising? What pages are they appearing for? Oh, wow, we didn't have a page like that on our website. Maybe we should, imitation is great. So just learning.
I always hear from agencies who they say, oh no, we pay no attention to our competitors. We don't even look at them. We've no idea, what they do. And I'm thinking, you're full of shit. It's just nonsense. If you're not paying attention to your competition, then you don't realize you're in a competition, because everyone else they're looking to serve your clients. And if you're not looking to win theirs, then why are you in business? You mentioned ATSs before, and I was looking just there in terms of integration. I think you've got pretty much the full set there. Broadbean, Bullhorn, JobDiva, Logic, Melon, Smart Recruiters, a lot of whom are, I should say, are also sponsors of the NORAs, which is nice to see. But in terms of integration, it means that people they don't have to leave their ATS. It means that the relationship each recruiter has with the dashboard that they have remains the same, but they have additional tools to get out there. It does mean it transforms their website into an active part of their ATS. It's connected, and as you were saying, by extension, jobs that you're sharing on social media, campaigns that you're holding through either messaging or emails, then the results of those you can track and you can find out what's working. And knowing what's working is absolutely vital. But from a candidate's point of view, in looking at websites that are built on your platform, what would you say is the big benefit to job seekers when they land onto a client of yours website? What's the difference that they will see and feel?
So there's a couple of things. Firstly, the platform allows our clients to really optimize the desktop and the mobile views. So the same site can be different on mobile and desktop very easily. Again, editable, you can hide sections. So again, for mobile, you want it to be quick, fast, and optimized for mobile use. You don't want to have necessarily a lot of words on the page. So that's one element. So really optimizing that. The same still goes in that everything is possible to be connected. So jobs on consultants on jobs, testimonials, etc. The one thing that we have spent a lot of time talking to consultants and clients about and candidates is really the password. So we've removed the password from all applications, so that the logic now is that a candidate can apply as many times as they want without a password. If they want to then still create an account and or create job alerts, they then register and connect everything together that they've done in the past. There's a validation email.
Can I jump in there? Because just on that point, it's something I've been banging on about for years. Recruitment websites, job boards, agencies, employers, when you set up an account and you put in you choose a password, it's often the case that the security for job boards is greater than online banking. And it's one of the biggest bumps in the road, where you get to the point where you're looking to make an application, you can't remember your password because you set it up in a rush last week, and you have to go through the retrieve password process, which frankly most people bail out of unless they're really determined. And these days, candidates are not nearly as determined as they used to be. A lot of candidates are, they're half looking, but they're not fully committed to making a switch. And employers are looking to convince, they're looking to woo candidates as opposed to putting bumps in the road. So that password bump has been a bugbear of mine for years, where I'm thinking, I just want to apply for a job. I don't need to see my transactions for the past 6 months. Let me apply for the bloody job. So sorry, I've interrupted you there, but for me, that's a big thing.
It's an important one.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing that it can seem trivial, but in practice makes a big difference.
Yeah.
It
is. We always talk about not putting up stop signs. So if anyone's gets to your site, they need to be able to easily search for a job. They need a job board that's intuitive, that has keyword search, that can find the jobs they're after. And then they need to be able to easily apply with no barriers.
And you mentioned earlier on about the being able to make a notification of interest. A candidate's looking at a job, they think, well, that's interesting, but do I want to make the commitment to apply for this job? Do I want to upload my CV and mentally to myself say, right, I'm definitely looking for a job? Because often people they're wavering. But if they're saying, note of interest, I'd like to know more, then that's as much of a commitment as it is. But by that point, the agency or the employer then have the connection. They know, who the person is and their email address, so they can communicate with them. They can share with them more information on the job and bring around candidates who were very passive and only, at the beginning of the process of looking for a job elsewhere. So that notification of interest, again, it smooths out that bump in the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So in terms of, I know we were speaking yesterday, in terms of the NORAs that are coming up, Shazamme are fantastically one of our sponsors this year, but unfortunately, due to what's known as the global pandemic, you're not able to be here. I think Louise is going to be presenting Louise Triance is going to be presenting the award that you're sponsoring for Best Specialist at Job Board. But you are also looking to make available some free tickets to people who want to engage with you to come along to the NORAs. How are you looking to do that?
So we've set up a landing page. Yeah, we've set up a landing page. We do have 2 tickets. We'd love someone to go and drink our drink that we should have been there having and enjoy themselves and make sure they take some photos and share them with us.
That'd be fantastic.
What we would love to hear from people is things on recruitment websites that they would like to see. So we've had some really good ideas from different people, and they are being built at the moment, and it's really exciting. But we would like to get some ideas from people of what they would like to see in a recruitment website that doesn't exist at the moment. And then the best submissions will win a ticket to the NORAs, and we've got 2 to give away. So
fantastic. That's fabulous and very generous. And also, people can see a link at the bottom of the screen. There's a special offer from Shazamme for the a discount from your setup cost. And I should point out now, I don't want to go on about this because other developers will give me a hard time. But those developers we were talking about at the early stages of the show. But in terms of costs, I was really quite surprised at the cost with Shazamme. If people want to click through and look at the pricing, then brace yourself. And it's not something that's going to be a shock in the bad sense. You're going to think, oh, hold on a second. So on that point, I do need to ask, how are you able to do it for those kinds of prices? Because I'm not saying it's cheap, but it's inexpensive.
You go, Rick.
Look, it certainly is, and I guess that was what I was saying before, our vision of building something that is able to be used by everyone, and we don't need coders. So we've done away with big development teams and long processes to make changes and develop stuff. So typically, as an example, one of our clients said, "Oh, can you add X to this widget?"
Yeah.
I messaged our team in LA one night, and the next morning it was done. I tested and released it. So we're literally talking, I'd say 10 to 20 times. We're moving at 10 to 20 times the speed that I was able to move before, just changes to the core platform. So that is why we've been able to reduce it down. We don't have a team of 20 developers and 20 people to build sites anymore. It is just a whole different ballgame. We've adopted the low no code concept of having platforms that don't need complex development teams and lengthy development cycles anymore. So that's really the core to what we've done. And you can read lots of white papers on the low code sort of movement that's going on, but some people are saying in the next sort of 5 years, 30% of all applications are going to be built on that type of platform. And we've adopted it in this industry, and it's shown that we can take something from taking 3 months down to a week. It's just amazing.
Fantastic. So Shazamme is still relatively new in the UK. You're going to be rolling out with more and more clients as you go. I would any recruitment company that I was speaking to, I would absolutely say, you have to look closely. If you're considering platforms, then you first port of call, absolutely. Especially if you're looking, and all agency owners are. Tight is the word that I'm thinking of, but that's not the right word, because that's maybe not the most complimentary. But every pound is a hostage, and if you're looking for plenty of bang for your buck, then absolutely go and check out Shazamme. Guys, I have just noticed the time. We've gone a little bit over. Thank you very much for staying up late to stay with me and join us this evening for yourselves. The show immediately after this will be available for replay. The show has been going out to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and a number of other platforms. So it is out there for people to see. I'm going to be reposting this. If anyone's come to it late and joined us, I'm going to be reposting the content of this show onto the NORA website just shortly. And anyone who wants to find out more, please click on the link below to look at Shazamme. If you look at the chat bar at the top, you'll be able to connect with Rick and Nicole on LinkedIn. Please do that. Absolutely worth doing so. And can I say thank you very much again for joining us as guests, and everyone who's joined us as viewers for the show this morning. It's been really educational and great to do. Great fun.
Fantastic. Thank you, Stephen, and thank you
so much
for having us on the show.
No problem. Very welcome. I should say before we finish off, I'm just gonna make myself a little bit fuller screen here. I'm going to say thank you very much to our guests. We have another show coming up this afternoon with Logic Melon. Logic Melon, who are of course integrated with Shazamme. So we're going to be speaking with John Salt from Logic Melon, the managing director, this afternoon. So with that, I'm going to say thanks to everyone who's joined us, and we'll see you later. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.